Hello guys, it is Rob Black Widow again for like the third or fourth time today. And this is about the actual sales of the movie. But again, the Phantom Menace, what I'm going to call him the Idiot Menace from now on, said this movie would basically flop. Said this movie would basically be a failure. Yeah. And of course, they're always starting the boycott of the movie. Be no soccer there. That'll end up in failure, of course. Because we have the Black Widow ticket sales. And, yep, Black Widow's ticket sales are the best TV era to date. But they keep saying that Black Widow would flop. They say that Black Widow would flop. It says 96%, and according to my YouTube fans, it's 53%, but again, that might be some of my audience that picked up from the Phantom Menace. They might hate the movie, but here you go. 97% are excited over most. I'm not gonna see it in theaters. I don't watch movies in theaters. I'm gonna see it when it comes out on Blu-ray because I have a vacation to do. I can't really watch this movie in theaters. Yes, when we have to pay money for all the stuff we need to go on the vacation, but I would have seen this if there was no vacation. They didn't delay this 100 times. 96% of the fans to see folks at scenes for 93% of Johansson fans, and 81% PC Black Widow to get biggest screen possible. I'm in the 19%. Yeah. I didn't buy a ticket. I'm just saying, you guys. But where is the flop here? Where is the flop in Black Widow? Just where is it? Black Widow opened 100 million domestically. I think it might possibly do that. It could make $1 billion. And that will really piss off the Phantom Menace because they're trying to make this movie flop. It's really everybody else against the Phantom Menace at this point. Okay? Because the Phantom Menace is trying to do everything in the possible way to make this movie flop. And it's completely sad. Because they call me a troll, of course, because that's what the Phantom Menace does. But look at the score on IMDb. The current score on IMDb is 7.4. It's higher than it was earlier. The Rotten Tomatoes, establishment score went down. Again, nobody gives a crap about the Rotten Tomatoes establishment. Nobody gives a crap about what they think of the movie. Because according to this, Curious is a better movie than Black Widow. Just telling you. Because Curious has a higher score. Well, if you don't know, Curious got 0%. But this is the same score as Spider-Man Homecoming currently on IMDb. Okay. 7.1k reviews is currently the highest rated movie. No, not highest rated movie. It currently has the same score as Spider-Man Homecoming. Which is not mixed reviews. It isn't mixed reviews. That isn't mixed reviews. 7.4 out of 10 is not mixed reviews. But according to the Phantom Menace, I'm a troll for weighing out the facts. Okay? Captain Marvel has a 6.8. Much lower than Black Widow. Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming has the same score. IMDb. Of course, you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore because Rotten Tomatoes will skew the results either way. With bot reviews, okay, but this movie had the same score as Spider-Man Homecoming on IMDb. Okay. I don't know if Letterboxd has reviews for Black Widow so far. Here. Which Black Widow on Letterboxd is a 3.7 out of 10. with the average scores turn out to be a 8 and 7 and 6. Mixed reviews would be 4, 5, 6 average scores. Okay. And you see this? There are very little bad ratings for Black Widow. Okay? But you have videos by channels like Roadcrash Bullshit saying, how bad is Black Widow? Trying to tell you that you shouldn't watch the movie. They're basically like the leaders of the Phantom Menace. They're basically like the leaders of the Phantom Menace. And most of these guys are saying how bad Black Widow is. Making it out like it's the worst movie ever made of this year. Okay? Because the only ones hating on Black Widow at this point are Marvel haters and the Phantom Menace. Those are the only two groups of people that, hate Black Widow at this point. And Marvel haters are bound to hate this movie anyways because they hate anything that Marvel puts out. So, nobody really cares about them. Okay, every franchise and every movie is going to have people who are going to hate the movie. But the average score on IMDb is 7.4 out of 10. And of course, the average score on Letterboxd, which is a much more weirder site, has a 3.7. I'm going to look up Spider-Man Homecoming, which is the comparable movie. And Google doesn't even use Letterboxd, because nobody really uses Letterboxd as much as IMDb, but Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming has the same reviews. 3.6. So Black Widow has a higher score on Letterboxd than Spider-Man Homecoming. I guess Spider-Man Homecoming must have mixed reviews, considering that the movie has a better score. Whereas again, the channel that called me a troll, Old in Movie Box, says that this movie has mixed reviews, even though Black Widow is considered better than Spider-Man Homecoming on this site. And let's just look up Arita on here. I love Arita. I know I love Arita, but Arita, I think had the same score as Black Widow. Here. Hello. Yeah, Arita has a 3.2. So Arita has more mixed reviews than Black Widow. But Odin Movie Blog, the channel that called me a troll, said this movie basically is one of the best movies of 2019. I do agree with him on them with that. I don't think but this movie has much more mixed reviews than Black Widow does. But I'm the troll here. I'm the troll here for pointing out the facts. Pointing out the truth. Okay? The rise of the Phantom Menace. Okay? The rise of these people online. And the other movie he keeps comparing it to is Ant-Man has a lower score on IMDb as well. Ant-Man has a 9.3 on IMDb. He keeps comparing it to Ant-Man. Okay? Ant-Man. Okay? Ant-Man has a 3.3 on Letterboxd. Okay? A 3.3. Which is lower than Black Widow. You see the trends here. Okay? The Phantom Menace just point up a bunch of lies, so they didn't win with the Google trends. And they didn't win with the whole, mixed reviews narrative. So it's going back to the old horse. And they're saying, you shouldn't watch this movie because Black Widow is a feminist movie. That's the reason they're telling you not to watch this movie. That's the reason they're telling you not to watch Black Widow. It is absolutely sad. Okay? Okay? And there are people who are going to be gullible enough to believe in the Phantom Menace is wise. Okay? Wonder Woman 1984, I see why people hate that movie. That movie is pretty long. I didn't hate the movie as everybody else did, but well, a lot of people didn't put the reason why they hated Wonder Woman 1984 was it was feminist. That was the only people who hated that movie for being that way. The only people who hated that movie that way for calling it a feminist movie or complain about quote unquote wokeness in the movie was, of course, the Phantom Menace. Only the Phantom Menace complained about this movie. And 1984 was just an average 6 to 7 out of 10 movie for me. It wasn't no masterpiece like the first movie. But it was still good. But the only problem was the movie sort of been watched sorta. The movie sort of been watched sorta. I think that's my whole take on this movie. The movie sort of been foul sorta. It's like cut like 20 minutes from the movie, and I think the movie would have been a better movie. Okay. Okay. But the whole notion that Black Widow will flop is just being destroyed left and right by the sources. Okay? It is poised to pass F9's pandemic debut, which is supported by Fandango's ticket sales. But of course the fandom metas are going to say it's gonna flop because that's all they ever say. They're gonna say Black Widow's gonna flop until the end of time. Or at least until the movie comes out and the movie actually makes money. Okay? But the movie makes 4.9 internationally from 11 countries. Yep, that's 11 countries in one day. Okay? And as strong as I was in the UK, with 1.7 million, and France with 1.6 million, and Italy, Netherlands, and Sweden. And it will continue to pull out its weekend for 46 international territories, and the only problem, it is not coming out in China, but it is coming out in 46 territories, and expected to generate 50 million at the international box office. This, yeah. And the movie could more than likely make 160 million first week, and then it will likely make money at the end of its sales. Okay. Okay. But their old narrative is the movie's gonna flop, it's gonna underperform, but still gonna beat Fast 9. Was according to them, Fast 9 was a massive success. According to the Phantom Menace, except for like 2 channels, Fast 9 was this massive success, as well. Or that's the fact that they're just practically overpraising here, but it's outpacing Doctor Strange and Spider-Man Homecoming. Yep, ticket sales are outpacing both Doctor Strange and Spider-Man Homecoming, which is also outpacing Quiet Place 2 and F9, which I'm going to see that movie this month when it comes out on Blu-ray, since I pre-ordered the movie. But record bow, okay, according to advanced hit sales, poised to make box office history. Okay? Well, it's a flop here. Okay? And we're not even going to amount of people going to watch this on Disney Plus. Okay? The amount of people who are going to go watch this on Disney Plus. Yeah. And yeah, 140 million worldwide. I think it will probably go higher than 140 million worldwide. But really, Black Widow doesn't really have many major movies to compete with until the Suicide Squad comes out in August. Okay, I don't really see Space Jam, reigning against Black Widow anytime soon, or Jungle Cruise, another movie that nobody gives a crap about, not gonna really make that much money. I expect Black Widow to have good wigs as well, considering that people actually like this movie. Unlike, of course, the fact that Maslows are trying to tell lies and, of course, say the same things over and over and over again, and say the same stuff over and over and over again. But that's basically the Phantom Menace. Yo. But according to pre-ticket sales, you know, you know, you know, and we'll really see how it goes out in the box office. You can't really trust these quote-unquote predictions, because they were predicting Fast 9 would gross 60 million to 50 million, but open to 70 million. So, and this movie's outpacing F9 on Fandango. This movie's even outpacing Spider-Man Homecoming and Doctor Strange. Okay, we're gonna pull up Doctor Strange, box office. The movie made 242 million domestically, and it made 627 million worldwide. Okay. And let's see Doctor Strange's first week. It made, I think, around 85 million. Okay, which is a pretty respectable opening. Okay, but also outpacing Spider-Man Homecoming, which is an even bigger movie. Which Spider-Man Homecoming did overperform. But that is a pretty notable one, outpacing both Doctor Strange and Spider-Man Homecoming. And let's see Spider-Man Homecoming's opening, and it ended up making 344 million domestically and 545 million internationally. And it opened up $113 million domestically. Yep. It's outpacing this movie, it's opened $113 million domestically. And it's outpacing Doctor Strange, which of course opened 85 million. So this movie is going to gross more likely gross more than 85 million. But Black Widow is going to flop. That's the whole narrative pushed by the fandom menace. Which is just a complete absolute joke. They even called me a troll for saying the Boss Baby has not really come out in international markets, which is true because most of the markets for Boss Baby 2 is gonna come out and later on. And I'm gonna see what the release dates for Black Widow are, because I don't think that only release dates are gonna be around that day. I think that more and more international markets are gonna, get dates, especially China, which China doesn't really have a date for that move for Black Widow yet, at all. Yeah, Taiwan is the only new date is Taiwan on the 14th of July, 2021. That's the only new date, but it's coming. But yeah, it has come out in like South Korea. It has come out in Russia, which I think is gonna do really well though. It's coming out in basically every major market. I think it's gonna gross more than 50 million internationally opening. I think 50 million in here. Okay. Again, it's likely gonna have legs internationally as well. But the movie's already doing pretty well in the UK and Italy, and a weekday opening. Okay, though that's a weekday opening. It's not a weekend where most people watch movies. Most people watch movies on the weekend. That's why most movies release on Friday. Okay, and it's releasing in a ton of markets by July 9th. Okay, I think the movie will probably gross definitely above 150 million first weekend. Okay, I think it is. It's outpacing Doctor Strange, outpacing, Fandango on Fandango here. Seeing as the best tickets of the sales, outpacing, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man Homecoming, and are better than all 2021 movies and some MCU movies. And of course, it's doing better than movies like, of course, The Incredible Hulk is doing better than that movie. It's doing better than, of course, there. But the movies are saying that it's doing better than Spider-Man Homecoming and Doctor Strange. It is tracking ahead of those movies. So Black Widow could gross 120 to 140 million. And again, the fandom menace, of course, saying the movie's gonna flop, it's gonna gross worse than F9. It's gonna gross Ant-Man numbers. Because, of course, And yeah, they don't really spend. I think it is outpacing like the Incredible Hulk. It's outpacing those movies for the Dark World. It's probably outpacing Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp as well. And this is of course with the Iron Curtain of Disney Plus. The Iron Curtain of Disney Plus. But this movie is supposed to be the flop of the year. The big laughing stock of the year. Okay? The laughing that's for the Band of Mess, I think it's be the laughing stock of the movie. Of the year. It's gonna be the Band of Mess is gonna be the laughing stock of the year. I think they have lost all credibility this year, essentially. You know. You know. And yeah, the Phantom Menace, of course, they're gonna lose, and it's just absolutely so sad that these guys are just crying and whining on here. Because you look at YouTube, all they have been talking about is how Marvel's gonna die, how cinema is ending. That's the other thing they're saying. How cinema is ending because of Black Widow. You can't make this stuff up. So we're gonna come back tomorrow for the Thursday previews. Absolutely, we're gonna come back tomorrow. Here, but it's just absolute sad that these idiots just won't stop crying and whining over Black Widow. You know, Now they're saying that they're gonna boycott the movie now. They're gonna start the quote unquote boycott of the movie that's gonna completely and utterly fail. Okay, it's gonna completely and utterly fail as well. Okay, IMDb is set 7.4, and of course, in terms of on Letterboxd is what Odin uses, it's still higher than Spider-Man: Homecoming. I expect the score to go up to 7.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.